Hello, my name is Megan. If you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel and welcome back. So last 2 weeks, I filmed a declutter. It was supposed to be all one video, but it just ended up being way too much, so it was split into two. And this week I decided that I'm looking down at all the products I have in front of me. Some of them I'm just a little bit unsure of, I guess. Some of them I want to give them one last chance to see if I like them any better. So yeah, I guess we're just gonna do a full face of makeup that I'm decluttering, and maybe some things will move around after that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on in. So for starters, I'm gonna go ahead and prime my face using the Fenty Pro Filter Instant Retouch Primer. I really like this stuff. It hasn't gone bad. It still smells really good. It still has a good consistency. I need to move my mirror so I can actually see it. Haha. There we go. My only issue is just that I don't use it very often. I'm not always reaching for like mattifying primers or even pore filling too much nowadays, but I do, or at least I used to really enjoy this. I think this is either my second or third bottle of this stuff, so I do enjoy it, but it's just not something that I reach for all the time. But I am kind of wondering if maybe I should hang on to it because I did like the way it made my skin look and feel. I'm not sure. So that's why we are using it today. So next I'm gonna go ahead and do my eyebrows. I'm gonna go ahead and do those off camera and I'll be back in a second. Everything that I decluttered for my eyebrows, it just wasn't the right shade. So why would I use that when I could just use stuff that is the right shade? Because hello. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and I'll be right back. Alright, so eyebrows are on. This one's definitely more intense than this one is, but it's just how it's going to be for now, I guess. I went ahead and I used the e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil. I really like this. Like I said, it's definitely one of my favorites. I didn't declutter anything that was the right shade for me, so that's what we're using today. And then next I'm going to go ahead and... Alright, well, I don't have an eyeshadow primer. I'm just going to go ahead and use my paint pot. Just because I figure if I'm going to test out some eyeshadows, it might as well be on a base that I know that I enjoy. So this is just the paint pot in the shade Painterly. Okay, so there is that. Eyes are kind of primed up and ready to go. And I'm going to go ahead and take my Lorac Pro palette. This is the original palette. The inside looks like this. I think it's a gorgeous palette. I love how creamy these eyeshadows are. It's just not something that I've been reaching for. I'm gonna go ahead and take the shade Cream and just kind of set my paint pot. Okay, and going in with a Morphe M441 brush and the shade, I guess we'll go in with this mauve shade right here. I'm gonna go ahead and put that very carefully into my crease, kind of as a little bit of a transition. And then let's go ahead and let's take the same brush and the shade Taupe and focus this again in that same general area. I actually decided to put this one more on the crease and like lower onto my lid instead of brushing it up as high as the mauve color. And I'm going to go ahead and take my Sephora 38 Featherweight Crease Brush and the shade Sable right here and just carefully put that on my outer corner and blend it up into the crease a little bit. And then taking a clean Morphe 510, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of blend it all together. And then taking, oh my god, my face is so itchy, that Sephora brush again and the shade Sable, I'm going to very carefully put this a little bit on the inner corner as well. Just the slightest bit to kind of deepen up my inner crease. And I think I'm going to go a little bit out of the box today for me typically. I think I'm gonna go ahead and take that shade Garnet right here, just on my finger. Ooh, tap it off. and place it right in the middle of my lid. And then again, just taking this brush, not adding any extra product, but just kind of blending it all. And then also taking my finger and this shade Champagne right here, I'm gonna put that right in the center of the lid. And then again with my Clean Morphe, just blending it all. So this is a much different look than I typically go for. I'm not finished yet. I'm going to add some shadow on the lower lash line, but I'm going to hold off until after I do like my concealer and whatnot. So speaking of which, let's go ahead and jump in and do that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go in with the Infallible L'Oreal Full Wear Concealer. This is in the shade 320 Porcelain. And just, I remember, you know, I like brightening in my under eyes, but this one just was like a little bit too light. So I'm going to go in very carefully. And it's very, very full coverage from what I remember. So we're just going to very lightly add some concealer. Ooh, I'm so sorry. And then take a damp beauty blender and blend it out. And so just as I remembered, it's just way too light for me no matter how much I use or how little I use. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Instant Age Rewind. This is in the shade 100 Ivory. This is one that I really, really like, and just place that under the eyes to deepen up the color a little bit because it's just way too bright. So yeah, it's exactly as I remember. It's a great formula. It's super full coverage. It's just way too light for me, which is weird because usually things are way too dark for me. So that I'm gonna go ahead and for sure pass along because I can make it work, but like it's a lot of work to make it work and it's just not worth it to me. I look absolutely ridiculous. So let's go ahead and take my Maybelline Loose Setting Powder, the Fit Me Powder. This is in the shade 5, Fair. I remember really liking this, I just haven't used it in a while, so I'm going to go ahead and take whatever's in the cap and my Beauty Blender. And then with the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Face Brush, I'm just going to go ahead and wipe that. So I do like this powder. I go back and forth on using it because I do find it to be very similar to the Laura Mercier one. So I don't know, but I do enjoy it. So just because my under eyes are so ridiculous, I'm going to be very, very careful and take the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil bronzer and a bronzer angled brush and just very, very carefully dust a little bit of this under my eyes. Which you can tell it does deepen it up just a tad. I obviously don't want to go in too heavy because like it's bronzer on my under eyes. But this is a good trick if you can find a bronzer that works really, really well for you. And if you're in a pinch and you need to kind of deepen up your under eyes, go ahead and just throw a little bit of bronzer. But like I said, do so carefully. So there, now my face looks much more normal, but like I said, I'm still going to pass along the concealer because it's not worth it to me. And going back in with the eyeshadow palette, I'm going to go ahead and take the e.l.f. eyeshadow C brush and the shade Sable, which again is this one right here, and just very, very carefully line my under eyes, or, you know, apply shadow to my under eye. All right, so that's it for now. I promise it'll look better when I put on mascara. Might as well do that now, I guess. So we're gonna go ahead and take the It Superhero Mascara. I like this, it's just, it can be really finicky, which is why I'm deciding to declutter it. Alright, so that is the mascara. I don't know if you can tell. I think it makes my lashes look really, really nice, but like, I might hang on to it actually. I have no idea. That one's gonna be a maybe. I do really like the way it makes my lashes look. I just don't like necessarily how finicky it can be. But I love the way it looks, so it's like, might be worth it. Anyway, so moving on to finishing off my face, I'm gonna go ahead and take the Milani Baked Bronzer in the shade Dolce. This one is for sure a more like shimmery baked bronzer sort of a thing, which is not necessarily my favorite, but we're gonna go ahead and take the e.l.f. complexion brush, and I feel like I didn't really give it a fair shot, so we're gonna go ahead and bronze up my face. I really like the way this looks too. I think it's a great color for my skin, considering the fact that I am so fair. I just think it gives such like a nice luminous bronze. Oh, a lot of these products I think are gonna get a second chance. Alright, let's go ahead and finish off my makeup. So I'm taking the Milani Afterglow highlight in the shade Strobe Light. I think in my video I ended up saying that I was going to keep this, but then I later decided to declutter it, at least for now. I don't really wear pink highlights all that often, so I felt like it was kind of ridiculous to have, even this is like my only pink highlight, but I do have a couple like peachier ones that I do use. So I thought that, like, considering the fact that I do have similar highlighters, and I didn't really reach for this one, it just wasn't really worth it to have it, even though I do think it looks gorgeous on the skin. So I will say though, if you like the shades that this highlighter comes in, it's very, very hard to like overdo it because of the like texture and just the way that it's kind of made. It's supposed to be a very, very sheer highlight, but you can build it up, but you're not really gonna run into like an, oh my god, I screwed that up, you know? So for that, I would say that this is, I mean, I like the formula, it's just not a color that I reach for all the time. But it is really, really pretty. Okay. And next I'm taking this ColourPop blush in the shade Desert Rose. If you watched the declutter video, I said that I think it's really pretty, I just don't use it. I have other shades that I reach for more often, and so I don't know, we'll give it a try. I also think that's really pretty. It's very light and natural and sheer. Oh no, this video is not going as planned. I was really hoping that I was going to use some of these products and like talk myself out of keeping them. But instead I think I might be talking myself into keeping some that I just didn't think I was going to keep it anyway. So we're going to go ahead and finish off with the lips. I'm going to take my Revlon, Revolution lip liner. This is in the shade Rain. It came in like a lip kit that I ended up decluttering the lipstick of a while back, but I kept the lip liner because I thought it was a really nice color. So I'm just going to go ahead and line my lips, but also fill them in a little bit with the shade as well. Alright, and then lastly I'm taking the ColourPop Luxe Lip Oil in the shade Gen Zen. These two did come together in like a little bundle kit, so I'm going to go ahead and apply this to my lips. And I'm fully aware that like my eyes and my lips don't necessarily match, but like it's fine. So I do really like these lip oils. Actually, I have two other ones. This is just the one that I reached for the least, but it's really pretty. Okay, and so lastly, I'm going to go ahead and take the e.l.f. Dewy Coconut Setting Mist. I was going to use the e.l.f. Stay All Night Micro Fine Mist, but just the nozzle on this is so messed up that I can't even get it to work. It just like shoots a straight line, and I don't really feel like doing that. So I do have 2 of these, and the second one I am holding off on opening. So this is the one that I do use, but I do have a second one that I'm going to be giving away. So it like kind of counts, I guess, a little bit. And then I'm just going to set my brows real fast with the Essence Making Brow. This is one that I'm hanging on to. I'm almost out of it, so. Alrighty. So this is the finished look using products that I thought I was going to get rid of, but now I'm really not so sure about. I still love the formula of this eyeshadow. This is not a look that I typically like go for. I'm not really big onto like color, even though like it's a really muted color. I just don't use it all that often, but I do think it's really, really pretty. And I think I might keep this palette. So that one we might hold on to. This I'm still getting rid of for sure. Oh, this is gonna go in the maybes. I really like this powder on. I just never reach for it because I do have other powders. So I feel like because of that, I should just get rid of it because it is inexpensive. And so when I like finally run out of my Laura Mercier powder and maybe my Glossier Water, I can pick this up. But I figure I have, you know, I'm keeping the Glossier Water, which is like already like a tinted sort of like light coverage loose setting powder. So I feel like I don't need both of them. But I do really like the way this makes my skin look. So I don't know, we're gonna see how my makeup wears, and that's gonna go into a maybe for now. I think I'm gonna end up actually keeping the It Superhero Mascara. I am gonna go ahead and continue to get rid of the Fenty Beauty primer. I just have other primers that I use more often than that one. As for the lip liner, I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of the lip liner. It's just not something that I use all the time. I have other lip liners in colors that I prefer a little bit more. So we're gonna go ahead and declutter that. Same with this stinking concealer. If it wasn't so light, I think it'd be great, but this color is just like not it. Remember, I had to set my under eyes with bronzer. So, as beautiful as this highlighter is, I do not need it in my life. I have other highlighters that I just need to use. I don't reach for this one. So as gorgeous and stunning as it is, I'm gonna go ahead and continue to declutter that one. This baked bronzer though, I'm kind of into it. I've never really thought I've been much of like a shimmer bronzer, baked bronzer kind of a person, but it's not shimmer, it's just like light and buildable and luminous. So I might actually hang on to that as well. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of the Fit Me powder. I don't need it. The gloss I think is really pretty though. And same with this blush. You know, the blush, I have plenty of other blushes. This one is vaguely similar to the Luminoso blush by Milani. They're just both like pink blushes with like a gold sheen shift to them. And so because of that, I'm gonna go ahead and keep the one that I was already keeping, which is Luminoso. And I'm going to declutter this ColourPop blush, even though I do think it's really pretty. I don't reach for it. I've had it for quite some time and I don't reach for it. And then this gloss, still to be determined. I think realistically, I don't need it. Let's check out what other glosses I have. I do have other glosses that are like pink with gold shimmer, sheen shifts, whatever you want to call them, to them. So I think that because of that, I can get rid of this still. So okay, overall, I don't think we did too poorly. So out of all of that, I think I'm keeping 3 products and I'm continuing to declutter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. So okay, overall, I'm out of my 12 products that I was going to give a second shot. I'm keeping 3 of them and I'm decluttering 9 of them officially. But yeah, so overall, I think it didn't go too terribly. I am really excited to get some new use out of the bronzer and continue using the mascara because like I said, I do think it's a really pretty mascara, and the palette honestly, as soon as I decluttered the palette, I haven't stopped thinking about it. So I think that was kind of my sign. So yeah, if you liked this video, if you enjoyed the look, if you enjoyed seeing what products I'm decluttering, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. Maybe leave a comment down below if you've ever felt so inclined. If you haven't seen my declutters but you're interested in them, I will have them linked up here. It's over my left shoulder, linked up in the cards. And yeah, if you want to see more of me in the future, I'm not entirely sure why you would, but to each their own, go ahead and subscribe down below. And yeah, I will see you guys next time.